It was a dark and stormy night. The 12th Horseshoe podcast airs once more on Surge Sports. Jack Rizzo and Elijah Weintraub hosted the Week 8 reactions and breakdowns when they realized trouble was yet and here to come. The Denver Broncos beat the Kansas City Chiefs after Taylor Swift does not show up for her boyfriend's game. The Carolina Panthers get their first win of the season after beating the Texans of Houston. And finally, the Battle of MetLife Stadium went to the New York Jets after the Giants failed to get a first down and force overtime. The sad news is we are going to have an interesting battle for the rest of the New York future. This is the 12th Horseshoe Podcast on Surge Sports Halloween edition. You're watching right now, live. Happy Halloween and welcome to the 12th Horseshoe Podcast on Surge Sports. Jack Rizzo, Elijah Weintraub, happy Halloween. Big day today. Trade deadline and close today. Big lot of trades finally happened and occurred. Plus, 16 games happened in week 8, and we get to break it all down for you to give you a reminder of how we did this week. Jack went 10-6 this week on picks, and he went 3-0 on LSU, Lock Survivor, and upset.
Let's go.
I went 11-5, won this week in picks. However, lost in LSU, Lock Survivor, and upset by going 0-3. We will break down every game in just a moment, and we'll announce every trade that happened in the final tally of 2023. But first, Jack, how are you doing today on this Halloween night?
Feeling spooky. Doing good, man. You know, fun week 8. Not really for my Colts, but for the NFL overall.
No, but it was a good week overall.
A lot of fun. All 16 teams in action. A really fun week. A lot of great games. And enough of me talking. Let's just get right into it.
All right. Well, the final tallies of the 2023 trades include Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Leonard Williams, Kevin Byard, Ezra Cleveland, Joshua Dobbs, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rasul Douglas, Kenavius Street, McCole Hardman, Randy Gregory, J.C. Jackson, Chase Claypool, Van Jefferson, and Cam Akers. We will announce every new trade that happened between today and yesterday on when it comes to each team's term. But we just want to let you know those were the final list of people. Some of them we've already mentioned before on our show, or if not on Sports with Mono with Jim. So you can take a look at those information if you have not heard our thoughts in full details when it comes to those guards. Meanwhile, for the New Jersey Devils side of things, the owner of Josh Harris also owns the Washington Commanders as well as the Philadelphia 76ers. It was a big night for them as not only they got rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat, they also lost James Harden from the 76ers, plus PJ Tucker and Philip Petrusev. That all happened in the Josh Harris organization. So it was a big night for the Josh Harris organization nonetheless. And now we get into the games. The Bills and the Buccaneers 24-18. We already heard all of our thoughts in last week's show on the week 8 predictions video. So you can go ahead and check that out. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for both these teams, the Buccaneers will travel to Houston to take on the Texans 1 p.m. on CBS, and the Bills travel to Cincinnati for the Damar Hamlin game, 8:20 p.m. on NBC. I call it the Damar Hamlin game because of everything that happened last year in Cincinnati. First game on the list tonight to talk about Panthers over Texans, 15-13. The Texans honestly should have won it. They kept jumping offside and jumping out of play on the final play of the game. It was not fun at all. The Panthers got lucky, and the first win of the season goes to the Panthers. Happy Halloween without the extra L, but it's okay. Thank you. Happy Halloween to you too. Luke, Jack, break it down to us. What were your thoughts on that crazy Panthers-Texans game?
First off, why are y'all not trick-or-treating? Because we have a show to do.
We have a show to do, and we don't like trick-or-treating.
Yeah, we give the tricks on this show.
Right. We got the treats, but we got the tricks.
We give treats by providing you with this content and by giving you advice for any fantasy owners. But no, we appreciate all of you who watch this.
Yes,
In all
thank you very
honesty,
much, and
thank
feel
you
free to
very much.
comment if you are new or just feel like you want to
Exactly.
say
Yep.
hello.
We appreciate all of y'all's comments. But I told you, Eli, the Panthers were gonna win, and they did. I told you they were gonna win. Frank Reich got his first win as a coach. What a good defensive game for them here. The Panthers with a game-winning field goal at the end. As you mentioned, the Texans kept jumping off sides, and there will be no winless teams in the NFL in 2023, the sixth straight year that we will not have a team go winless in the regular season. Obviously, it's only happened twice, or it's happened twice since 16 games have been added to the season, the 08 Lions and the 2017 Cleveland Browns. But I think two of the more underrated defenses in the league went head to head here. So much so that this battle between the first two overall picks of the draft, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, but that was a little overshadowed because of how good the defense is. It's a tough one for the Texans, dropping to 3-4, especially coming off the bye. You thought they'd win, but Carolina also coming off a bye, and they were able to get the win. And they have a chance of bonus. They have a couple. Carolina's got some winnable games against the Colts and the Bears up next, so maybe they could start to make a little second half run. And glad to hear, Luke, that you went trick or treating and went good. Yeah, Luke is one of my old friends from my old neighbor where I used to live. I used to go with my friends down there all the time. I miss it. It was certainly good times, but
Right.
and I actually haven't got trick or treating since I moved because it's just not the same, and I refuse to do it because it's just not the same up here. But
Trick up is
I
so
would, yeah.
Just how many games were in a season before there was 16? Oh,
14. It was 14.
okay.
And because the 1976 Tampa Bay Buccaneers went 0-14. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think it was 14, and then 16, and sometime in the 1980s it was added. Also,
All right.
fun fact: there used to be 2 bye weeks in a regular season. So yeah, so the NFL's changed quite a bit, and
Right.
I have a
Yes,
feeling
indeed.
with all the injuries this year, there's been a lot more injuries this year, and we can make a whole show about this separately about how many injuries there's been this year. But
The Injury
I think
Talk Portrait Podcast show.
with all the injuries and the extra game added, I would not be surprised if that second bye week does come back. We make it a 20-week full season. We make it I think a game they might go to an 18-game season, then add a bye week and make it a 20-week season. That makes a lot of sense. But let's go to the next game. Unless you have any more thoughts about the Panthers Texans.
I don't. There's not much more to say. I'm just disappointed overall in the Texans and the Panthers.
I'm not because I picked the Panthers to win.
I don't care. Whatever, Jack. You knew it was coming. You've been talking about me saying whatever all show long, and now you got it. All right, next game on the list: the Cowboys over the Rams, 43-20. The Cowboys played well. Not much more to add, but they really play well against easy teams. The Rams did not have luck and struggled. I don't know how much more I could add about this game, unless you got something. But the Cowboys did good, and Rams could not get a victory for Sean McVay.
This game was pretty much over from the start. I mean, it was never really ever close. It was 33-3 Cowboys in the second quarter. They scored on all three sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. They also did that in week 1 against the New York Giants. This game was very reminiscent because put up 40 more points. But yeah, this was a 33-3 game. Never got back in it. Matt Stafford suffered a UCL sprain in his thumb on this. He is day-to-day, so we'll see how that happens. But Cowboys defense is pretty solid. Now, again, when they play better competition, they don't play well, but they can rack up these wins against easy teams, I guess. But we'll have to see. But yeah, not really much more. Good overall win for the Cowboys. And did you hear about?
Yes, we did. It was not fun to watch. Thoughts and prayers as always, as well as the Penguins. We do want to report that the English Hockey Association is now requiring net guards beginning the 2024 season and starting January 2024, if I'm not mistaken, according to the Eyewitness News article. Thoughts and prayers as always. The NHL will more than likely be doing this soon. Has not happened yet, but it should be happening sometime soon. May not be right away, but it should be in discussion. That is a discussion between the Players Association and more. I will have more thoughts about all this incident and more on Sports with Mono and Mono this Saturday, where we talk about all sports, not just football. So if you're interested, please take a look at it. But yeah. Let's move on to the next game. Vikings-Packers, 24-10. The Vikings played a great game. Again, they played, however, the Packers. Kirk Cousins suffered an Achilles injury, unfortunately, so that is season ending. And on top of that, wild trades for the Vikings. Let me get into that real quick before we get Jack's thoughts. The Cardinals sending Josh Dobbs to the Vikings. Sources will, that happened. That was crazy. Josh Dobbs, who started all 8 games for the Arizona Cardinals, now a no main quarterback. He now heads to Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are also trading guard Ezra Cleveland to the Jaguars. That happened live while Coach Doug Peterson was on the Pat McAfee show. So a lot of breaking news happening there. I think the biggest one, though, was Josh Dobbs. Before you talk about the game, Jack, what are your thoughts on this Josh Dobbs going to the Minnesota Vikings? And what does this mean for the Arizona Cardinals and both the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, first off, this sucks for Kirk Cousins. Kirk is just one of the ultimate good guys in the NFL. It's honestly hard to not like him, especially after watching Quarterback on Netflix. Kirk just seems like a great guy, a true family man, just a class act on the field. Even today, he was out there signing autographs for the kids at Vikings practice. Just shows how much he cares about giving back to the community. I absolutely love Kirk Cousins. I think he gets a lot of hate. I think he is a really good quarterback, but it sucks to see this injury for him, especially him being on the wrong side of 30. It's typically harder for these players to come back from these injuries. But Josh Dobbs, all things considered, he did very well for the situation he was in. I mean, he signed with the Cardinals like 5 days before the regular season started, was immediately slotted in as the starter. And I know they went 1-6, but he had some very good games as the starter. Could be a nice dual threat ability. However, the Vikings do plan to start a rookie Jaron Hall on Sunday against the Falcons, the BYU product. Let's just hope it goes better than the last BYU quarterback to play on the field. Because that BYU guy, guy's name is Zach Wilson. So
yes, I honestly feel bad for Josh Dobbs because I liked what he's been doing in Arizona, despite it not
he's
working out for him well. The whole story about the jersey and everything, it is actually sad to hear him go. I was actually upset, wow. They really did him dirty. And I'm like, what's going on with this Cardinals teams? They're not advancing anymore. They just got rid of a decent quarterback. They're really not in a good space right now. And you have this Vikings team who's now not starting him. I feel bad for the kid, really, because, he's a deserved kid. He deserves to be in the NFL. And just a lot happened between almost 8 weeks in the National Football League.
Yeah, it certainly is. Certainly is, but he has a great story. He's been in the league a long time. He has alopecia. He's a great story. I always have rooted for Josh Dobbs. Even when he was playing at Tennessee, I always liked him. So hoping for the best from him in Minnesota. Jordan Addison, though, looks like maybe the best receiver from this draft class. What a game he had. He's had 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games, so he's got 7 on the season. It's been Puka Nacua with the yards, but it's been Jordan Addison with these touchdown catches. So certainly cool to see that. Vikings, though, 4-4. Packers look worse and worse every week. Jordan Love, I don't know if he's the answer in Green Bay. I don't know how much time they're going to give him, but certainly does not look good from their perspective. And I think, but good for Josh Dobbs. I think he's going to do well in Minnesota, and hopefully he can help them make a run in the second half. Although he's not, I hate to say it, but he's not better than Kirk Cousins.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Next game on the list, Saints over the Colts, 38-27. Number 1, Jack has a full reaction to break down tomorrow on his show, the Horseshoe, the Horseshoe show tomorrow, 7 Eastern on Surge Sports, and then you can both join us for we're being interviewed by All in High School Sports, a show that is broadcast
that's right.
in our area. We're super excited. We would like to thank everybody for working that deal out, for making us appear on the show, and we can't wait to be on it tomorrow. But overall, the Colts are a wishy-washy team. Wins when they want, loses when they have. The Saints played well and a much-needed win for them.
No, they didn't. We played bad.
Whatever. The Colts, disappointed, wishy-washy team. They should win next week, hopefully, versus the Carolina Panthers. If not, I am done picking the Colts. And the Saints are...
Wow.
Yeah. And that is
That's me. Don't do that to my team. We played bad. The Saints didn't play well. We just played bad. And we lost this game. Our secondary is a mess. Tony Brown, one player in our secondary, gave him 200 yards on his own. That's not going to win you a football game. Gardner Minshew with another bad turnover. Not even gonna spend a lot of time in this game because it's gonna make me angry. So, congrats to the Saints. I hate that team though. So not really. Congrats to them, but So Colts lose, but hopefully we beat Carolina next week. But if we don't, I guess we could get Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft. So honestly, if we keep losing these games, it's not the end of the world. So
right. And now the next game on the list, the Dolphins-Patriots, 31-17. I don't know how much I can say, but the Dolphins are the Dolphins and the Patriots are the Patriots. Win when they can, win when they lose. And the Dolphins have a great matchup next week when they play the Kansas City Chiefs in Germany. So,
Prost or Prost, however you say it.
yeah. Okay. Can you add anything really? I mean, we know the Dolphins are good. I mean, what do you got?
First off, I picked this for my survivor and I got it right. Now you picked the Texans and you got that wrong. But yeah, the Dolphins with a good win, and the Patriots, they actually played well. It was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter, but
Yeah.
then they decided to not cover Jalen Waddle, which is not really that smart, and he went in for a walk-in touchdown. Jalen Ramsey almost had a pick six, and then Mike McDaniel was saying after the game how disappointed he was. It was like a 70-yard interception return, but because he didn't take it to the house, he's like, he promised me that he would get a pick six in his return back, and he didn't.
Yeah.
So pretty funny, but good win for the Dolphins. 6-2, 6-2 now.
We
on
will
the
announce
season.
standings in 2 more games. I will announce standings in 2 more games.
Yep. So congrats to the
Next
Dolphins.
game.
The Patriots are having a rough season, but yep.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, if the Patriots can win this weekend when they play the Commanders, which I doubt, then I might have to pick them to beat the Colts in Germany.
Okay.
The next game was a shocker to everybody because the Giants would not get a first down. Jets over the Giants in overtime, 13-10. If you're a Jets fan, you're saying to this, Zach Wilson's not the answer. Offense was horrible. Defense played beautiful once more. Should have been a higher scoring game. And now the Giants play Las Vegas and the Jets play Monday Night Football once again home. So many primetime games versus the Chargers.
The Chargers have four primetime games too.
Yes, I know they do. I'm saying the defense, but for like a Jets standpoint, I always have my life. The defense was on point for the Giants. Kicking was not good. It was horrible. And the Giants are also signing QB Tommy DeVito, who was added to the practice squad, who's now added to the practice squad. He played a little bit in the game versus the Jets this weekend. He was from Don Bosco Prep here in New Jersey. So that is pretty cool to see somebody go from a Don Bosco perspective. But can you rant about them, Jack, please? Because, yeah, I don't know how much more I can.
I don't really know if I can rant because the Giants are just that bad.
Yeah, you picked them to win. Spoiler alert, next week. Restorators. Spoiler
because
alert.
Daniel Jones is coming back. I mean, how do you win when you have? Listen to this, Eli. -9 passing yards. -9 passing yards. How do you have -9 passing yards in a game? And by the way,
Saquon was there for Seattle.
Very good. Wait, we were both very close to our score picks. We both had the Jets winning. You had 14-10. I had 14-13.
Yeah, I know. I love to add an extra one for some reason. I hate that.
Yeah, you were 1 point off from getting a score right. But anyways, yeah. What the hell was this game, honestly? I mean, Tommy DeVito had 2 completions. The Giants appeared. The Giants had
Start them in your fantasy, kids.
It was ridiculous. Like I mean, it's honestly a miracle the Giants were even in overtime because they had -9 passing yards. But yeah, it's just, I mean, Graham missed a couple of field goals. Now apparently he had a bad leg, but why would Brian Dable be sending him out then to kick it and not just run it for the first time? Brian
security guard.
Brian Dable has
that security guard. Keep in mind the Jets have to share too, so you can't even.
Brian Dable has as many good play calls as hairs on his head. You know how many? You know what? Those are both 0. Those numbers are both 0. So yeah, that's
next up.
Do you think that's fun? Do you like that, Eli?
That's funny. What has the show got into? I told you we're full of tricks today. Jaguars played a good game once more. The Steelers played sloppy. Final score of that game for the Jaguars Steelers was 20-10. Jaguars going by. Titans have Thursday Night Football. God. And yeah, what do you like to add about that? Oh, the Giants for as bad as they played were 1 second away from winning. What?
I mean that's
okay,
true.
So basically, what he's trying to say, so people who are in English, the Giants are as bad as they played. They had 1 second left. All they had to do was they had 1 second. They blew it. So yeah.
Oh, by the way, Tyrod Taylor suffered a ribs injury and he is out for multiple weeks. So that's not good for them.
Interesting.
He was in the hospital overnight, so not a good injury.
All right, let's go. What are your thoughts?
I just gave you my thoughts on the game.
Okay. They're all done. Okay. So that's your thoughts for Eagles? Not for Eagles, Jaguars? That's your thoughts?
Oh, I didn't even hear you say the Jags.
I said the Jaguars already.
Game.
You didn't even pay attention? Wow, folks. This is what happens when you're on the Southern podcast on Halloween night. Because you did not. You clearly did not pay attention.
I was reading this
what
comment.
was being asked to? Well, I've already announced the score. I heard announced everything. Clearly, somebody was not paying attention, worrying about what Martin.
Maybe I just didn't. Maybe I didn't comment because I'm mad about the game because I picked the Steelers to win. But
yeah,
congrats to the Jags. A really sloppy game at Heinz Field. Really bad weather conditions. The Jags defense, they look pretty good. Jags are running away in this division. They have a 2.5 game lead over both Tennessee and Houston. And Kenny Pickett, so many quarterbacks got hurt this week. He also has a ribs injury. Day to day. Mike Tomlin said there's a game time decision for Thursday Night Football. So we will have to see what comes out of that. And again, the Jaguars traded for Ezra Cleveland, the lineman from Minnesota. So we'll see if that helps them in the second half of the season and probably in the postseason because Jags look like they are bound for that. So yeah.
To remind everybody of before I get into the standings for the Texas Panthers game, we Jack got it right. I got it wrong. I had him for Survivor. He had him for upset. Cowboys were both right at. The Vikings were both right at. I was right about the Saints. He was wrong about the Colts. We were both right about the Dolphins. Both right about the Jets. I was right about the Jaguars. Jack was wrong about the Steelers. We were both wrong about the Falcons, which we'll get into in a little bit. But first, the standings: 7-1 Eagles, 6-2 Ravens, Jaguars, Chiefs, Dolphins, Lions, 5-2 Cowboys, Seahawks, Lions, 5-3 Bills and 49ers.
You said the Lions twice.
Oh.
Well, the Lions are good enough to be twice on that.
No, they're not. Wait till they get out of the first round of the playoffs. Bengals, Browns, Jets, Steelers, 4-3. 4-4 Falcons, Vikings, Saints. 3-4 Texans, Chargers, Bucks, Titans. Titans. 3-5 Broncos, Colts, Rams, Commanders, Raiders. 2-5.
We tied with the Broncos. Yes.
2-6 Bears, Patriots, Giants. 1-6 Panthers, and 1-7 Arizona Cardinals. Next game on the list, you have the Titans, who beat the Atlanta Falcons 28-23. The Titans played another good game. Again, a wishy-washy team. The Falcons played an interesting game, but are not the team that we saw. And also, the Falcons traded for defensive help, Eagles defensive tackle, Canavia Street, for some draft round picks, a 6th rounder in 2024 and a 7th rounder in 2025. Was it really worth it? We'll find out this weekend when they play the Minnesota Vikings on Fox, and the Titans will have the Steelers for Thursday Night Football. We'll get into our pick in just a little bit. Break it down for us, Jack.
Well, what did you? First off, you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't mention the quarterback for the Titans, Will Levis, the way he played.
That's right. Will Levis was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely played perfect. Beautiful in that game. He did great, and now he'll also be starting for the Titans. I forgot to read that. No, thank you for reminding me, Jack. You see, so now you pay attention. Very proud of you, Jack. Kudos to you. Bravo.
Whatever, Eli.
Bravo.
So you would have to deal with every week.
You see, he didn't even break it down. All right. Since
no.
Eagles over Commanders.
No. The Titans played a very good game, but I'm not surprised they won because they can only win at Nissan Stadium. They are 3-0 in Nissan Stadium, and they are 0-4 elsewhere. So that means that we know what the outcome is going to be for Thursday night. But Will Levis played a great game. DeAndre Hopkins, a hat trick. The Falcons are a very they're the wishy-washy team, I think, more so than the Titans are, because Arthur Smith is an idiot at the coaching position. But Mike Vrabel, for some reason, said that Ryan Tannehill's going to start over Will Levis. These are two joke teams, honestly. Both these teams are a joke. So, honestly, they both deserve to lose, but whatever. Let's go to the next game.
Eagles over Commanders 38-31. Eagles played another close game and won. Commanders played another close game, but lost to the Eagles for the second time this year. One positive note for the Commanders: when they play the Seahawks soon, they will have no Chase Young and no Montez Sweat. So let's go, because the Seahawks should get 2 victories, especially with the one this week against the Ravens. Sorry, Luke. And also to the Commanders next week in Seattle. Can't wait. Break it down.
Well, it was a really fun game. Jalen Hurts had definitely his best performance. A lot of people were questioning his play the first 3 weeks of the season. Well, he shut up all the haters this week. A.J. Brown, the first receiver in NFL history to have 6 straight games of 125 or more receiving yards. Congrats to him. Why did the Titans trade away this guy? They are such a joke, the Tennessee Titans, a poverty franchise at that. Sam Howell looked really good as well for the Eagles, or for the Commanders. I'm sorry. And again, the NFC East matchups are fun. Like that should have been the Sunday night game, not Bears Chargers. Ew, that's gross.
Because it was supposed to be a better game, but it didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why we both picked the Bears, but
Next,
let's.
my favorite team, Seattle Seahawks, beat the Cleveland Browns 24-20. In simple terms, I'm going to put it as this. In quote, the Seahawks play like the Jets, but are in first place. The defense is always on point. They're getting more picks and more special players, including Leonard Williams from the Giants. Huge pickups in the trade deadline. Our offense is still struggling. Gino is definitely struggling, but we are still going to the Super Bowl. We're still winning the division. Seattle has yet to put together a full 60-minute game. If so, they'll be dangerous.
I agree. That's a great point. That's something that Seattle has struggled to do because
close game unable to succeed. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I finished. Go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that it's pretty frustrating for the Seahawks that they just can never be consistent. Week 1 was just bad. Both sides of the ball were bad. Week 2, week 2 and week 3, the offense played well. The defense was horrible. Weeks 4, 6, and 7, the offense was bad, but the defense was good. And then this week, the defense was good and the offense wasn't good until the end. Yeah, they did overpay for Leonard Williams. I don't think they should have got a second and a fifth is a little much for a good but not great defensive player. But the Seahawks, though, your defense, Eli, you should be excited about. They might be a top 5 defense in the NFL right now. You've got Metcalf, Lockett.
You just need to improve that offense, and I think we'll be good to go.
Game-winning touchdown. Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet are good duo. The O-line has been better. I think it's all on Geno. I think it's all on Geno, though. I don't think Geno's that good of a quarterback. I think Seattle could use an upgrade at quarterback, and if they don't win a Super Bowl this year, that's going to be why. They're going to get held back by Geno because literally the rest of their roster is almost perfect. So you should feel very confident. They're definitely going to be in the playoffs, but with Geno, I don't know how far you're going to get. I think you need a bit of an upgrade at quarterback. But that's just me, though. I mean, Geno could just turn it around, but I don't really.
Trade deadline is over, so we will have to obviously wait and see.
It's going to be a challenge for Geno against the Ravens defense next week. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL. So
not against the Seattle defense. They'll be better.
They're similar, but okay. Yeah, it's all right.
Next game on the list.
And I got this pick wrong. He got it right. I can't believe he didn't say that, but
we both got the Eagles right too. Next game on the list, Ravens Cardinals. We both got it right. How could we got it wrong? Ravens over Cardinals 31-24. Ravens played good. Yet again, they played the Cardinals. The Cardinals played another close game. I don't think I need to go any further. I don't think you need to either because it's the Ravens and it's the Cardinals.
Well, I mean, a 7-point game is a 7-point game. This was, I think, a little closer for comfort than the Ravens want. And the Gus Bus, Rutgers own 3 touchdowns, a hat trick. Second straight hat trick. We've mentioned him and DeAndre Hopkins, both 3 touchdowns. Great game for him. Josh Dobbs has played really well this year, considering everything that the Cardinals have been through. We talked about it a little bit before. But, yeah, the Cardinals are starting to fall back down. In reality, it looks like they might get Caleb Williams or Drake May or whoever. I will say, though, how about Chris Lewis on CBS, a former play-by-play camper, called the game on Sunday. So
kudos to him. All right.
Yep.
Next game on the list. The Chiefs have to shake off this loss. Shake it off as they head to Germany.
No. Stop. No more Taylor.
The Broncos beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's more like it. Actual football, not Taylor Swift.
And the reason why they lost, 2 reasons. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes was still dealing with flu symptoms. And number 2, no Taylor Swift. 2 reasons why they lost, and they will continue to lose without those 2 key healthy players. And I consider now Taylor Swift an active person to the roster. Let's just say this. Broncos can win, and Russ can cook only in 21-degree weather in the snow in Denver, Colorado.
That's Broncos country. Let's ride.
No. And by the way, the Chiefs are in Germany next week. And the Kansas City Chiefs will play the that's why
Dolphins.
And Broncos will have a bye. Thank God. I don't have to talk about the Broncos for a week. Yeah. Thank God.
Let me ask you, Eli. Let me ask you a question. What do you like more? Do you love the Seahawks more or do you hate the Broncos more?
Love the Seahawks more.
I don't believe you.
I've always been a Seahawks fan. The only reason why I'm not a fan of the Broncos is because of one person on that team. That's
so you're still mad. You're still mad. You're still mad on this episode, even though the Seahawks won, just because the Broncos lost.
Correct.
Oh my God! But all right, I'll say
You
it again.
got the pick right.
Broncos country, let's ride.
We both got the pick wrong, and I had it for lock. Shame on me. Next game on the list because I don't think there's
You should know to never pick against the Broncos. Wait, you didn't let me give my thoughts.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Go.
Russ cooked through 3 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes threw 0, and the Sean Payton looked like the best head coach in the NFL. And the Broncos won 24-9. They're going to beat the Bills in 2 weeks on Monday Night Football, and they're going to make a run to the playoffs. So Broncos country.
What do you want, Jack? What do you want? What do you want? Okay. I got a question for you after the show. Bengals 49ers 31.
Never want to hear that.
I got questions. Bengals 49ers 31-17. Washington is dealing with Chase Young going to San Francisco for a 3rd-round pick. Interesting.
So him and Nick Bosa are reunited, former Ohio State teammates.
49ers are struggling. Bengals are doing well.
Oh, that's right. You didn't mention that the Seahawks are in first place now.
By the way, the Seahawks are in first place. This is the Seahawks.
This isn't even true. I'm more of a Seahawks fan than he is, mentioning all the good things.
Well, I forgot to. I had it on my notes, but you didn't give me a chance to talk about it, Jack.
You've been talking for like, oh my god. All right, well, guys, Eli's the best, by the way. This is all just for fun.
So, yeah, we have a lot of fun on the show together. He's also a very good person.
It's not like we're fighting on the show. If y'all are
no, because if we were fighting, we would not be doing the show right now. But
yeah,
it's all for the views. It's all for the views. Overall, Seahawks are first place. So happy that 49ers keep on struggling. Keep on struggling. Keep doing what you're doing. And it stinks because they're on bye this week. And the Bengals will have the Damar Hamlin game with the Bills on Sunday Night Football on NBC.
I tried to tell you, Eli, the Bengals were going to beat the 49ers, and you did not listen to me, so I got the pick right. You got it wrong. Joe Burrow, 28 of 32, 283 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The Bengals defense, 2 interceptions. What a job that Lou Anarumo and that Bengals defense are doing. They have been the main point of the focal point of this team. The reason why the Bengals are back over 500 for the first time this season. They're about to go on a second-half run. I tried to tell everyone that the Bengals would be fine after an 0-2 start. Nobody thought so. Well, those people who said that are very quiet today, so they are very wrong. And the Bengals are about to make a playoff run and win the AFC North. They're going to come back and dethrone the Baltimore Ravens. So congrats to the Bengals. Great win for them. And the 49ers have got to get back on track. It's a good thing they have a bye because they really need to get this back going.
No,
I think
it's time for the bye. No.
Why not?
Because Seahawks are in first place, so we want them to continue having failure now.
Thoughts on Chase Young to the 49ers trade? I think it's a good trade for both. I mean, Chase Young was just not working out in Washington. It was a good trade. Injuries. Yeah. And for the 49ers, well, they could pretty much turn any bad defensive player into a star. They've done it with many players in the past. They turned Richard Sherman. They turned the clock back for Richard Sherman for a brief time. They've done it with some other players. The 49, I mean, it doesn't even matter what the coordinators are. Pretty much every coordinator for the 49ers becomes a head coach at some point. That's just how good of a team there are. So I have no doubt that they're going to turn Chase Young into the top prospect we thought he'd be coming out in 2020. But Eli, any thoughts on that trade?
Very good trade. Unfortunately, it's not good for Seattle.
Okay, well.
Who's winning the NFC West? I'm a Seahawks fan. And if you're new to the show, Backyard Hoops. So I am going, obviously, with the Seahawks.
Okay, well. You want to go to the next game, Eli? You got the next game for us?
Chargers-Bears. Horrible Sunday night game. 30-13 was fine. I thought the Bears would win it. I was wrong. So is Jack. I also had them as the upset. Chargers played another good game at home. Bears felt a good win opportunity, and Commanders are trading defensive end Montez Sweat to the Bears for a second-round pick. Interesting that happened there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the Bears just cannot win. The Bears just don't win when I pick them.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they've lost. So sorry, Josh, that I keep picking the Bears. I'm not going to pick them no more though, because they're probably going to start winning. Who's winning the NFC West? Win the NFC West in your opinion? Well, Eli. Oh,
I'm a Seahawks fan. What was your answer?
I'm still going to say the 49ers because I think they're going to get back on track, and I think Seattle's got a little bit of a tough schedule, but we'll have to see though. Anything can happen. Maybe the Arizona Cardinals come back and win the division. I mean, who knows?
I have questions. I do. What?
Anyways, the Bears sucked it up on Sunday night. Tyson Bagent was a fun story for 1 week. The Shepherd product does not look good. The Chargers still stink though. This is the first time the Chargers had an easy win in 87 years. Heck, I think World War I was still going on the last time the Chargers had an easy win. So honestly, yeah, not really that impressed with them. They're gonna lose again on Monday night next week to the Jets. So whatever. We both have this as we both had the Bears winning. Eli had it as upset of the week, so he went 0-3 on LSU, so that's good for me. And I went 3-0, by the way, which includes
I still won the picks by one. I won the picks by one. That's all that matters. All that matters.
No, it doesn't. It is not the only thing that matters. I have now.
In my
I'm now
book, it
leading
does.
you on. Whatever, Eli. The Chargers win though. Let's get to Monday night though, and I had the Lions as my lock, so I went 3-0. Let's go.
And we both picked the Lions. We were both right about that game. Lions over Raiders, 26-14 teams. Lions are on fire, but they are not as good of a team as we think. They're not going to do well in the playoffs. Mark my words. In the beginning, the Raiders defense was on fire. Offense still struggling. They play the Giants next week. And also announced Jack Harlow will be performing at the Thanksgiving halftime show at the Lions presented by Verizon. So pretty cool.
Very nice.
So if you're into Jack Harlow, which I'm not, but heard of him, you will enjoy that halftime show. I believe that CBS is getting that game.
Good one for the Lions on Monday night. Jahmyr Gibbs had his best game, almost 200 yards of offense and a touchdown. The Raiders are a disaster. Oh, I'm sorry.
Gesundheit.
I'm sorry I did that. I don't know how to say thank you in German. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs' best game. The Raiders' defense played well. They had 3 takeaways, did all they could, but the offense is bad. Jimmy G is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. The Raiders might not win another game this year. So yeah, just bad game. But the Lions are 6-2, and they're on the road to making it to the Super Bowl. Not contrary to what Eli thinks. Lions are going to the Super Bowl, and they're going to lose to the Bengals. That's my Super Bowl pick, and it's looking pretty good right now. But that's it for let's get it.
Let's get into the Thursday night football game. Titans take on the Steelers, 8:15 p.m. on Prime Video. Give me the Titans to win 23-20 for their first game win of the season. Jack disagrees. I'm guessing you're taking the Steelers.
Yeah, obviously. I'm not taking the refs. I mean, maybe I honestly could take the refs and probably be right because they have won a lot of games this year. They certainly have. Actually, the refs are undefeated this year, so I honestly should pick the refs. But I'm going with the Steelers to win 17-13. Defensive battle. Will Levis is gonna struggle against a really good Pittsburgh defense in that stadium. It doesn't matter who's under center for the Steelers. Then a better weather game. The weather's looking pretty decent there Thursday night. It's gonna be a good bounce back win, and the Steelers get back to their winning ways and get to 5-3. And Tennessee drops to 3-5 again. They cannot win outside of Nissan Stadium, so give me the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, that will do it for our picks and our reaction for the 12th Horseshoe podcast. Join us on Friday for Prediction Friday. Time is still TBD, so take a look at the Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for the next time because we do have the St. Mary playoff game as they take on DePaul Catholic. Also, join Jack tomorrow on the Horseshoe Show, 7 o'clock right here on Surge Sports. And join us on All in High School Sports for our special interview. Thanks to Kurt and all the people from All in High School Sports. We can't wait for that interview. So check it out on their YouTube channel. And also, join me on Sports with Mano on Saturday at 10 a.m. And just to give you a heads up, next week, we will not have a Prediction Friday show. We'll be doing our picks and our reaction all on Tuesday night because I will not be here and I will not be able to do a show on Friday. So just keep out for that. Other than that, thank you for watching.
The Rangers are in first.
That will do it for our show here on the 12th Horseshoe podcast. From Jack Rizzo, Elijah White.
All right, everyone.
Go Devils. Go Steelers.